Hello, this is Bill Webb, aka Billy Indiana. Today I'm going to do a quick recap video of all the games that I played in November 2022. So if you're curious to see what hit the table, stay tuned. So as usual in these recap videos, I recount the games that I played from least to most times in the month and give a brief review, a little comment on each one, and then at the end I'll talk about which games were the ones I enjoyed the most. So starting at the first game, one of the ones that I only played one time, and it's actually a game that I don't own, and it is a recent Kickstarter release that's come out to people's hands, and that is Weather Machine by Vital Lacerda. And I was able to play a copy that my friend picked up through the Kickstarter project. We enjoyed that game together. It was challenging. I didn't enjoy it as much as some of the other Lacerda games that I've played. I liked it better than Lisboa, but not as much as Kanban EV, and definitely not as much as On Mars. I haven't played a lot of Lacerdas yet. Still have several others that I want to try, but I enjoyed it and definitely would want to play it again. And maybe after more than one play, I would start to enjoy it more. But first impressions, I liked it, didn't love it. Another game that I played just one time this month, and this is one that's an old one. I didn't actually play this copy. I played a friend's copy who has a newer version, but Acquire is an older game from the 60s that's had a lot of different reprints. And one of the things I'm doing this year is, or over the next several months, is trying to play all 16 games that are in the World Series of Board Gaming next September in 2023. And if you're curious about attending that, you can look down below in the description, and I have a code you can use to get a discount if you'd like to purchase tickets for that. I enjoyed my attendance. I went as a guest this last September. Really loved it. I also have a video I'll link up above here, and you can check that out if you're curious to see what my experience was like. But I'm trying to go through and play all 16 games that will be on the charter for next year. I still haven't decided if I'm going to be going again as just a spectator, a guest, or whether I'm going to be going as a contestant. It's mostly during the week this coming year, and so I'm not sure if I can really justify taking that many days off of school, but I'm really tempted because I had so much fun last year. But anyway, I'd played Acquire years ago, this actual version, but it had been years. And so my friend brought his newer version out. We met at a game place and had some dinner and enjoyed playing, the four of us, my wife and I, and he and his wife, and had a lot of fun. I remembered how much love I had for it back years ago. Actually, my wife and I were just newly married, playing with her parents. And so I enjoyed it, would love to play it again. And I'm hoping, like I said, to play all of the 16 games, hopefully multiple times, whether I end up being a contestant in the World Series of Board Gaming or not. Next up on the list, another one that I just played one time, and this was a new one to me, and that is Goa. This game is one that I've been wanting to play for a while. It's a little bit hard to find, but I was able to pick it up in a trade, and really, really like this. A very unique bidding system. We played, I think, yeah, it was a 4-player game. It was early in the month, so it was been a while ago, but I really enjoyed this one, and can't wait to play it again. Next up, another game that we just played once was Project L. And the same day we went and played Acquire together with that other couple, we also played Project L. Janelle and I played this a lot over the summer when we were on our big road trip. And this time we just were teaching our friends. And it's a fun polyomino Tetris style game. It's pretty simple. We don't typically pull it off the shelf a lot, but it was fun. We wanted to teach them so they could get a chance to play it since they hadn't before. Next up, another one that was not new to me, but one that I absolutely love, and that is Pax Pamir by Whirligig Games. This one is one I've just played a couple of times, but every time I play it, I just love it more. I'm going to do a board game spotlight video on this soon and talk a little bit about my experiences, even though I've only played it a couple times. But there's just so much unique about this game where you have the opportunity to trade your allegiances and you're trying to gain dominance, but if you can't gain dominance when the scoring happens, then you have a different way to score, and so you're trying to balance a lot of things, and there's some interesting card play. So if you're interested to learn more about this, keep your eyes out. Hopefully in the next couple weeks I'll be putting together that board game spotlight video for Pax Pamir 2nd edition. Another one that we just played once is HerStory. And HerStory is a game that I picked up from Underdog Games. This one is, if you've played Trekking Through History, the art and the feel of the game, the deluxeification of the game feels really similar, but the gameplay is quite different. You're building stories about these iconic women of history, and it feels a little bit Splendor. You're trying to combo different symbols and combine them together to try to earn the cards cheaper or even for free and then put them into your book, and the first person to complete 8 chapters in their book wins. I'll probably do a review for this one sometime soon as well. Really have enjoyed this one. Looking forward to playing it with the family over Christmas. So HerStory, another one we got to the table just once this last month. Next up, another new one to me, and it's one I've had on my shelf of shame for a while. It is the Ancient World, a Ryan Laukat game. And I tend to really enjoy a lot of Ryan Laukat's games, but this one was one I just hadn't had a chance to play yet, and I really, really liked this game. I can't wait to try it again. I'm hoping I can get it to the table with our gaming group that usually meets during the week. And this one it's got an interesting worker placement, but not a ton of tension in the worker placement, at least not 3 players. I'm hoping maybe we can play it 4 players next time, but just a really interesting river of cards and how to play those and how to combo those, and a unique scoring system with this one. So I really like it and can't wait to try it again. First impression after one play, really liked it. I could see this one climbing up in the rankings of some of my favorite games. So the Ancient World. All right, the next one up I have behind me. I'm not going to try to lift it. It's Foundations Rome. Took it with us to Thanksgiving and taught some of my nephews, and played with my nieces and nephews some other games, but played that one and really enjoyed it. It's such a beautiful game. It has such great table presence. And one of my youngest nephew that played actually ended up winning the game. And we had just a wonderful time playing Foundations of Rome. All right, let me check my list here. Okay, next up, another one we just played once. My wife and I have been trying to play a lot of legacy campaign style games this year, and we've been struggling to get them to the table, but we've been working our way slowly through Aeon's End Legacy, and we got another round of that in here in this last month. We're enjoying this one, but it's just been slow going. We're only playing like once or maybe twice a month, so hopefully over this next little bit as the school year comes to a close, at least for the semester coming into Christmas break, we'll get a chance to maybe get a few rounds through and make some more progress in this. But we are definitely enjoying that one. And I also just played a regular game of Aeon's End as well. Did that one on Steam, actually, so I won't pull out the box or anything, but enjoyed that one. I enjoy Aeon's End. I like the way you organize the cards instead of putting them in a discard and then shuffling up when you need them again. The order you put them in the discard pile matters, because then when you just flip them over, you're kind of predestining the order and the combos that you're going to have the next round. So that's a fun thing about Aeon's End. Now, a couple of games that I played more than once. One is another new one to me, and that is So Clover. So played this with my wife one time, and then also played it with our friends same night as Acquire and Project L. And this is a fun word game where you've got this plastic clover-shaped piece, and you put 4 cards on the clover, and they have 4 words, and so 2 of them are going to be paired on each side of the clover shape. And you're trying to come up then with one word that will connect the 2 that are side by side on all 4 sides of the clover. And then you throw in a 5th card, and people have to then try to rearrange those cards back onto your clover, just seeing the one word connecting clues that you've written on there with a dry erase marker. And they've got to try to see if they can come up with a pattern, not just with the 4 cards that you were looking at, but with a random 5th one thrown into the mix as well. So we found it to be pretty challenging. I think what we did, everyone did one time around, and I'm pretty sure we got like 3 of the 4 cards right for each person. Maybe there might have been one person who only got 2 of the 4, so we never got a perfect score. When my wife and I played, we just did one quick round, and we were able to get perfect scores. I don't know if the card combos were just lucky that time, but there are some where the word combinations on the cards, you just put them randomly out there. Some of those word combinations, it's hard to come up with something that connects them at all. So it's a fun game. I'm not sure how long it will last. I want to play it some more and with some different groups of people and just kind of see if people really enjoy it. So far, everyone that's played it has thought, oh, it's kind of fun, but it hasn't just been like a big hit so far. So I'm looking forward to trying that again. One that is always a lot of fun, and we played this one at Thanksgiving as well, is Happy Salmon. I didn't actually take mine, so we used a newer version of it. The older version I really like because it comes in these little neoprene bags, which is cool. And I have both the blue and the green one, so we can play with up to 12 people. I have played this with 12 people before, and it's a riot. Over Thanksgiving, I think we just played with 5 or 6 of us, but a lot of fun, just some chaos with Happy Salmon. Another one we had a good time both at Thanksgiving and then with some other friends since then. Ready, Set, Bet, an AEG game by John D. Clare. Horse racing game where you're betting, and I really have preferred using the app. I know some people love having a person being the caller for the horse race, but we really enjoy the app and the randomization of that. But you're throwing bets down as this app makes the horses progress along the track according to the rolls of the dice. And if there's a back-to-back roll, there's a bonus, and the least likely horses to be rolled, like the 11-12 horse and the 1-2 horse, they're going to get a bigger bonus if they get back-to-back than the 6 or the 8, which are going to get a smaller bonus on back-to-back because they're more likely to be rolled. So it's really a fun kind of pressing your luck, trying to figure out how long can I wait to throw down my bet, because as soon as someone bets on a particular one, like 5 times on horse number 10 being the winner, that's locked and no one else can bet there. Or someone bets on red's going to be the winner, no one else can go there. So there's a few cards at the bottom where more than one person can go, but most of the spots only one person can go. So you're trying to wait as long as you can to have the best likelihood of picking the winner. And yet, if you wait too long, that spot's just going to go away. So a lot of fun. I played it again in December, even just these first couple days. And hopefully we'll get to play it over Christmas some more as well. A lot of fun. Ready, set, bet. All right, another one that I played at Thanksgiving with my niece and nephew and my wife, Fossil Canyon. This is a Kickstarter game that we backed and actually have a video from months ago. You can see it up here in the corner. I'll link it here, with 2 of my grandkids, and they helped me make the video. And so I'm looking forward to taking it for Christmas and playing with all the grandkids. It's a lot of fun. You put out the cards that have all these fossils, pictures of these dinosaur bones in basically a dig site, and you're drawing them out and trying to make sets, and you're forcibly trading with other people, and there's these nice little wooden puzzle pieces that fit together to track your score, and whoever has the longest track of wooden puzzle pieces connected wins. And then if you flip all the puzzle pieces over, there's actually is a picture puzzle. It's not this picture, it's another dinosaur picture that's on the rule book. And so we did that too. We flipped it over and put the puzzle together. It was a tough puzzle, but we had a fun time both playing the game and putting the puzzle together, and looking forward to playing this again at Christmas with the kids and the grandkids. So Fossil Canyon, a lot of fun. Next one up is one that I don't own. It's called Time Chase. It's an interesting trick-taking game. A friend of mine in Camarillo, we've been trying to get together pretty regularly and playing some games, and he had this one. We played a 3-player game of it. It's interesting because you can go back and forth and replay tricks that are already done. And so you can maybe go back and win a trick that you lost before. And so there's some real mind melding kind of things going on there, but it costs some of your resources to be able to do that. And then if you go back and do that, someone else might beat you on the one that you're at now. So you've got all these tricks that are kind of spanning across this time frame, and trying to figure out, when do you go back? When do you can't even go back further and change what trump is. And so there's a lot of really interesting tweaks to this game, that something I'd never played before. We did enjoy playing that 3 times, and that's what I would enjoy playing again. It was a lot of fun. Next up, Port Royal. This is an Alexander Pfister game, and I have the big box. Actually won this from Nick and Vic from NV Gaming in one of their contests, and I played this version, played my friend's version. He taught me how to play, and then I took it at Thanksgiving and played with the family there as well. Haven't even played all the expansions in this big box yet, just the base game. But it's a fun one too, where it's another pressure luck game where you're flipping over cards and you want to get a bunch of different colored boats. But as soon as a second boat of the same color comes out, unless you can battle it away, then you lose and you bust. You get nothing for that round. So you're trying to decide, how many cards do I want to play? Do I just want to take the first thing out that's good? Do I want to keep pushing and see if I can get, the most cards into my tableau? And you're trying to get those cards into your tableau both for powers and for points. And then the first one, I think it's to 12 or 13 points, wins. So I had a lot of fun with Port Royal. Looking forward to trying that with some of the expansions that come in this big box as well. Next up, this is a classic one that I just still love playing, and that's Dominion. Donald X Vaccarino, and I played this one just online, played it several times, and so I've played with some of the Hinterlands cards, played with some of the base cards, just a mix on the app through Steam. I think it was on Steam that I played this, and I still just love getting Dominion to the table. I haven't played the solo version in a while. I have a video, I'll try to remember to put a link up here as well. But I want to try the solo version. I did pick up a couple of new expansions in the last 3 or 4 months and haven't played all those cards yet. So one of the ways that I like getting all the cards to the table and experimenting with them is to play solo. So if you're curious to see how I did it, like I said, you can check that link up above. I've played Dominion a few times this month and enjoyed it. And then the last two, one is Ticket to Ride. Now I didn't actually play this one. It was just easy to grab off the shelf. I played again on Steam, and I played the Europe version and played it several times. One thing I love about playing Ticket to Ride online is I can get a game in 5 to 10 minutes, and I like the game still, but if you play the regular game or the European game or any of the expansion maps, you're talking 60 to 90 minutes depending on how many people are playing and how familiar they are with the game. And so I enjoy it still, but we rarely seem to get it to the table, just with all the other games we have. But if I could get a quick 5-10 minute game in online, I still enjoy the game. It's still a lot of fun. And so Ticket to Ride, not necessarily the Amsterdam small box version, but played the European game a few times. And then the most played game actually was Smitten. Played with my friend down from Camarillo, played with my friend up here at Moore Park, played with my wife, and played this quite a few times. It's an interesting game from Stonemaier Games. They had it as a free one for a while when they were celebrating their 10th year anniversary. And it's just an 18 card game where you're trying to put them out in a tableau. And I've got a video as well just showing the solo for that, so I'll put a link up here above and you can check that out. It's interesting solo, but it's pretty easy to win solo unless you put both hard modes in, at least for my experience. I hope I'm playing it right. But when you play 2-player, which is the most you can play, it's pretty tricky. We've lost far more than we've won, but it's really quick. And sometimes you're going to lose just in the first few cards if you get a bad selection or a bad bet. You just hope this one's going to work and it just doesn't. And then there's sometimes you get almost to the end, but even getting almost to the end, we're talking maybe 10 minutes. So you can play this one quite a bit. So Smitten's been a fun little small pocket game you can take anywhere and play quickly with just about anybody. Fun game. So those are the games that I played this month. And now let's talk about what were my favorite games. So first off, I want to talk about my favorite new game and then also my favorite game coming back to the table. So my favorite new game was Ancient World, and it was close. Goa was right there with it, but just really loved this game, Ancient World, so much, and it's a toss-up. Like, I rank them both the same on BGG in terms of my enjoyment, but yeah, I think if I had to pick right now which one would I play, there's just this ever so slight leaning to this one. I don't know if it's because it's just more beautiful with the art. I really did love both games, and so it was a tough choice between this one and Goa, but I'm going to lean slightly towards Ancient World as my favorite new game this month. And then as my favorite game returning to the table, Pax Pamir was just, every time, I've just played a couple times, but every time it just rises quickly. There's just something about this game that just impresses me. So again, hopefully I'll get that board game spotlight review put out pretty soon. So there you have it. Those are the 20 games that I played, 9 of them new to me in the month of November, 35 gameplays. It was a good month for gaming, and looking forward to December. We're only in the first week of December, but I'm close to 20 gameplays already, and looking forward to Christmas break, playing a lot of games with the family, hopefully over these next couple weeks to wrap up the month of December. So in January, I'll be posting that. Also in January, I'll be putting together a couple of videos. One, my favorite games of 2022, whether they came out in 2022 or not. And then also my top 10 games of 2022 that were actually released in the year. Unfortunately, there's a lot of 2022 games that I've recently received and haven't had a chance to play, so I might wait a little bit later in January for that one, but those are a couple videos that'll be coming out next month as well. So I hope you enjoyed this video and just kind of following along with what games I was able to get to the table in November. Down in the comments, tell me your favorite games of November. What did you get to the table? What were your favorite new games? What were your favorite returning to the table games? If you've played any of these games that you really love, let me know what you love about them. I'd love to read those comments down below. And it would be also really terrific if you would click that like button down below, click the bell if you want to get notifications for future videos, and it would be also amazing if you would choose to subscribe to the channel. Thanks for watching, and as always, this is Billy Indiana, signing off.